Welcome to this new Flight Simulator update movie. In this movie we're gonna look at the island of Catalina, which has received an updated handcrafted airport, Catalina Airport, but also a new point of interest, and that's the casino. So let's have a look at it, right? So we're currently located at the airport, as you can already see, right? So if we look around us, you can see that it's, so to say, nicely modeled, right? Including the runway, some more detail. The airport is pretty challenging because if you would look over there, right, it's laying on a mountain on both ends. So you need to, I would say, really approach it correctly and avoid that you, of course, crash into the mountain. So let's go inside the aircraft and let's go, I would say, airborne. I'm going to set the flaps a bit. And then we're going to increase the power. And then go airborne, and then we're gonna do a short tour above the island and then make our flight to the casino. So we're taking off from runway 22, and you can see also some, I'd say, nice additions, like buses are being added to this airport. Here we go. So the airport is, I would say the scenery is, I would say, a lot of mountains, as you can see. Oh, let me do that. Flying right, because as you can't see it, you can see a lot of, I would say, mountains. Also, pretty close to the airport itself. It's nice weather, right? Let's move to the outside. Placing the for the west coast of US, and it looks like it's a really nice island to go to. Again, a lot of mountains, as you can see. There we have the airport, right, and you can see what I mean. It lays really on a mountain, so landing on it can be, I would say, a nice landing challenge. I don't think it's a landing challenge if I'm correct, but if you want to challenge yourself, give it a try. Well, we're flying over the airport. So here we go. You can see that it doesn't have any jetways or something. It looks like it's being used by small business jets and aircrafts like the Cessna, right? So not for huge, let's say, 320s or something. There's only one runway. And it's surrounded by a lot of mountains, and I would say pretty close to the ocean. So if we want to visit the casino, we need to fly in a different direction, right? So we're gonna adjust our course a bit, because we need to go to the, let's say, almost southeast part, because the casino lays, say, in the most southern part of the island. Almost. It looks like that there are several other buildings like hotels, etc., located there, because I looked it up. I know there was some information which I could find about it. We need to make sure that we're not going too high, right, because then we can't see the detail of the point of interest. Because the good thing is that that point of interest is handcrafted, right? So it has been handcrafted by someone, where that's definitely something you can see compared to the other buildings which are surrounding the casino. So let's decrease the altitude a little bit further. And then have a look. The island itself, again, it lays in the west for the west coast of the US. So if you want to fly to it, you probably need to depart from one of the airports. I think closely to San Diego. There might be some airports which you might want to depart from. You can see that the indicator already shows up, right? It shows the Catalina Casino. Also some other buildings showed up, right? You can see that the Xbox also has some, say, performance things where it needs to deal with. So we're going to decrease the power even further of the engine because we're coming closer to a point of interest. So the closer you come to this point of interest, the more buildings you will see. So it looks like there are also some cities. And if you look in on the internet for the casino, it has, I would say, also cinema in it and multiple other things. So it's not only a casino. I thought maybe it's, I would say, famous because of its cities, or maybe famous because of it was the scenery of in one of the movies, right? It's one of the large movies, but I couldn't find something around that. So if you know from, I would say, which occurrence this casino is known for, then let me know. So here we can already see some buildings, right? So on our right hand, it looks like to be a hotel because there's also a large swimming pool. It's built into the mountains. And then here we have the beautiful casino, right? There's some boats.
500.
You can see a lot of detail, but wrong button. A lot of detail has been added to the casino. Lays in the middle of a bay, surrounded by a lot of ships. So we're going to increase our power a bit because we don't want to land on the water with this aircraft. It's not suitable for it. If you want to do it, of course you can do it, because there's also a chest now which is suitable or made for landing on the water, and even one for landing on the snow. So if you want to, I would say, challenge yourself, that could be definitely one of those challenges which you could do. Then continuing our island trip, we will see some other buildings here. These are, let's say, not handcrafted, right? It's simply some default content. As far as I figured out, this island didn't receive any photogrammetry updates. It looks like that they did something about the mountains. And you can see that the Xbox still is loading some mapping or some scenery. So I'm going to push the throttle again. To make a little bit more speed and also a little bit more altitude, because I'm gonna fly over the mountains and then I'd say turn back to the casino, and also turn back to the airport, because I want to show you okay how difficult it can be to approach it. I need to keep an eye on the speed also. A lot of sand here. And there we see the mainland in front of us, right? So that's the mainland of the US. So we're flying via the other part of the island. Initially thought, okay, let's fly back to the casino, but the casino is just on the opposite side of the island currently. Let's see if we see some other nice stuff. So a lot of nature, right? A lot of roads, sand roads, a lot of rocks. Nothing else over on this part, right? So it looks like the cities or the villages have been mostly concentrated on the, I would say, near the casino. I don't see much here, to be honest. Seeing the trip. Let's see if we can find the airport, right? So Currently we're flying in parallel right, so you can see the casino now at the right hand. So that's where the casino is, including the village. Let's see if we can find the airport back. You see that the weather is pretty nice. Only a few clouds, not too many. We're climbing to 2500, 2600. Taking up some speed, so I'm gonna decrease the speed a bit to reduce the RPMs. You can see that the differences between the height is also amazing, right? You here see a large mountain, then you see, I would say, pretty steep into, I would say, what is probably a nice path to walk to, or to walk to the beach, because there's a beach. Not sure if it's accessible for everyone, but it could potentially be. Flying a little bit into the crowds. And then somewhere over there should be the airport. High on our altitudes. So if you're completely lost, you can of course always open the VFR map, right, to show you where you are. And in this case, I'm just flying over the island and see if we can discover something else. But if you want to fly back to the island, you can to the airport tree. You can always have a look at the VFR map, which will show you where you are and where you can find the airport. So other than the village on the east part, I don't think that there's much more, to be honest. But fly over this, it looks like it's pretty rocky. Maybe some small villages or some small houses in the villages or in the mountains, sorry, but I don't expect it. They're at least not visible on using Flight Simulator, right? And while we're flying, I do think that I see the airport there on the right hand. So let's go around that mountain, which is now in front of us, also right in front of us. Let's see if we can double check if that's the airport. It looks like, and then you can see the challenge. Right, there are a lot of mountains around. I would say if you would approach the airport from this way, and if you would approach from the other way, right, then you're flying over the sea and then, say, making the final approach into the airport. Of course, it isn't impossible, but I would say it might require some more practice if you want to do that. So I'm going to drop the flaps a bit, because of course I can't resist it, and I'm going to try it. So take it from the other way, right? We're not going to do it right now. So I'm going to fly around over the sea and then make a turn. So there we can see the airport, right? The other end is runway number 4. Some small buildings. Cars, also a bus, right, when we flew over it earlier. So I'm going inside the aircraft. So inside the aircraft you will see the navigation system, right? The G1000 NXI, which is the beta version of the G1000 system. It has a lot of functionality already, but it's not yet, I would say, officially released. You can download it, however, via the marketplace, so it's, I would say, easily accessible for everybody. So if you want to give it a try and want to replace the existing or the default G1000 navigation system, then I would say have a look at it and give it a try. See, it's a little bit bumpy, right? So it looks like it's a little bit windy. Scratches on the windows. There we see the casino, right, on our right hand, or at least a point of interest indicator, and in front of us some clouds. So let's start making the turn. Keeping an eye on the altitude and also on the speed, of course. So we're already breaking through the 1900 feet. There we see the island again. Now we need to make sure that we're approaching the airport correctly, because as you can see, the airport is a little bit on the right side from us, right? So we didn't make the turn angle we made was not, let's say, big enough. So our approach was not completely idle compared to what you normally would have. There it is. So we need to make some corrections. Let's see if we can make a soft landing. Again, it's the first time that I'm that I'm also landing on this airport, right? So it could be a little bit bumpy. Already warning you. So setting full flaps, decreasing throttle, and I already see that I'm too high, right? So I'm gonna do this will not be a nasty landing, right, or a nice landing, so if you've got comments about it, can 100% understand it. Also, we didn't ask for permission to land, so there we have another airplane. Hopefully it will wait for us. And we're also too far to the left side. So yeah, it was too bumpy, right? You can even see that the engine stops. Not sure why it stops. Probably the fuel was empty. Well, in that case we were lucky. So let's apply brake. And then clear the runway. Yeah, it looks like that we didn't have enough fuel. So we're really lucky that we survived this one. So here ends this video. In this video we looked at Catalina Island and the Catalina Casino and of course the handcrafted airport. I hope you liked this video. If you liked it, then consider to use the like button. If you got questions or comments, then feel free to put them in the comment box below. And if you want to stay up to date about new videos I'm posting, then make sure that you're subscribing to my channel. Thanks for watching and see you next time.